Good morning, everybody.
It's not even morning. It's afternoon.
Are you casting shade on my intro? So I've opted for one of these four-wheel drive style rollout awnings rather than the style that you wind out. And that's for a couple of reasons. Firstly, the cost of the wind out ones are quite expensive. They're somewhere from like $1,000 to $1,500, where this was like $150, $160. And the other reason, the way you mount the other awnings, just the way that they sit in the roof rails, it's just not going to work with the way we've got our solar set up, just because of the amount of panels and the size of the panels we have. So yeah, we've gone for this. It's going to be a little bit more challenging to put in and out, but yeah, I'm also not convinced how much we're going to be using it. Like on our old van on the iLoad, we used the awning a lot, but we had no indoor space. So I think with the indoor space, yeah, just not entirely sure how much use it's going to get, but yeah, I think hopefully this will work out quite well for us. We did get the awning with the mounting brackets that come with it, but we're not going to be using those just because of the way, as I mentioned, our solar panels are going to be sitting, and also not having roof racks as well. So I'm going to make up some custom mounting brackets for these. I've just made a template out of some fencing wire just to get the shape of that bracket that I'm trying to make, and also just to see where the awning is going to sit as well and get a feel for that. I'm using 32 by 5mm flat bar to make my bracket. Bunnings I think goes up to about 32 by 3mm. So I've got this from a specialist steel supplier, and their standard lengths are 6 meters. I don't know if they sell it in shorter lengths or they cut it down for you, but because I got intimidated, I've now got 6 meters. This is a third of it, even though I only need about 700mm. So anyway, I'm sure I'll find a use for that. All right, there's been a bit of a hiatus on Project Awning. It's been 5 or 6 weeks since I started that. My original plan was to bend the brackets into place, although I was skeptical that was going to work. The first bend worked all right, but then just because it was so intricate and tight, the two bends that I needed to make together, it just didn't end up working. So anyway, yeah, went and bought a little welder, which is something I've always wanted to do, something I've always wanted to learn. It was a little MIG welder. It was like 320 bucks. Came with an auto darkening mask, came with a whole bunch of consumables like the tips for the gun, a roll of wire, a pair of welding gloves and everything. So yeah, basically spent a fair bit of time on YouTube just learning how to use that. And so Unimig actually have a really good ebook for learning how to weld and all the different types of welds, and some tips and tricks in there as well, which was really helpful. Basically very simple to use. It's got a button for the wire size or the wire diameter, and then just a single knob on it that controls the wire speed and the amps and voltage and things like that. So yeah, you're pretty much able to just pick it up and weld straight out of the box, which I was pretty happy with.
Did you tell them that you were welding the day before our wedding?
No, I didn't tell them that.
Yeah, so I was doing all the final details.
Do you want me to tell them that?
You were welding.
This is what I've come up with for the awning. So just a pair of these brackets like this that are going to sit on the roof, and then there's a supporting plate as well that'll sit on the inside, and they'll just bolt together. So with the bracket that I've made, I've just put a bit of that 1.5mm rubber on the base of that, and that's just to protect the roof rail in case there's any flex there. I've sticker flex that down, and then just for good measure a couple of zip ties, and then I've got a couple of these to go on each side, so that'll go on there, and then I've got another one that goes between the plate and the roof, and that'll just hopefully seal it down, protect the paint, and also allow for any little bits of movement there. So if you've never seen one of these awnings, basically on the back of them they've just got this aluminium strip, and there's just a channel in there, or 2 channels, and that's where your bolts slide into. And so that can't twist, and then you secure your bracket on from that side, which is what I've made my bracket to fit. Then once you tighten that up, it pulls it tight in there and pulls it tight against the channel and against the bracket, and it's all secure.
Look, that's in right now.
Well, that's a wrap on the awning video.
Yeah, so pretty happy with how the brackets went on. The awning went up pretty easily, really. It seems pretty sturdy up there attached to the roof. So yeah, overall, yeah, it went pretty well.
Yeah, and considering how tall the van is, it is still possible for us to unwrap it, or more so Julius, to unravel it and set it up. I don't know if I would be able to do it on my own, but I think with a small stool or something like that, it would be fine. But yeah, if you have mobility issues, or if you're a little bit older, or whatever that might be, this might not work for you.
it is. I've got to step up here, if I can get up here, and I can reach it and unwrap it. Relatively easy. Like, it's obviously easier if it's on a lower car, but yeah, overall we pulled it out and packed it away in a couple of minutes. So
Yeah.
pretty happy with it.
Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, pop them down in the comments. Subscribe if you're interested in doing that, to follow the rest of the build. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you in the next one.